Dude, I have terrible allergies. What the heck, bro?
Pollen,
Yeah,
cheese,
probably. I don't know what else, but I'm dying
lactose.
slowly. Yes, I'm lactose intolerant, of course, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also
You're nine.
glucose. I'm also allergic to glucose.
That's unfortunate. I don't see how you still alive, but okay.
While I'm at it, I'm allergic to air.
Mm. Yeah, so that makes sense.
I'm allergic to life.
I'm allergic to. Hello, welcome back to season 2. This is your host Chivon. Today I'm joined with my co-hosts John and Marcus.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Uh, Unfortunately, Vala is not here because he's not responding to our text. But anyways, this week we have a very special guest, none other than Fredrik Swerdlup. Hello, Fred.
What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal.
Oh,
Bro,
that's
that pronunciation of that last name though.
Swerdlup. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. So this week we're going to be talking about a variety of topics, starting off with the coronavirus segment, of course, as always. But then we're going to go on to this thing called Conversation Street, as you might have heard before. This week we're going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter, some stuff about the new PS5 and the Xbox One, things that we like, and of course we just got a tweet from Kanye West saying that he's running for president, which we will talk about later. But starting off with the coronavirus, um, lately, you know, some places have been apparently going on to second wave. I would like to hear the thoughts from our guest speaker, Frederick, about how it is in Switzerland.
How the second wave is in Switzerland.
I
Well,
mean, people are saying it's second wave, but go ahead.
I mean, we have two extremes. Here over here, Fred has been going downtown, and yeah. So John,
listen,
tell us about your life. How's it going? Just going downtown and stuff like
I
that.
mean, yeah. Now you have to wear masks in transportation. And people kind of stop doing. People are restarting.
Has that impacted
I
your?
mean, it's mandatory. I think from tomorrow onwards, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
That's like
I
Sorry.
don't think it's too.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's too. It's too bad because we can still meet up. A few like a few people, fun enough. So I think to me, hasn't been too bad. You just have to be a bit cautious. But yeah, the cases have started to increase once again.
hmm
They're actually
Yeah.
decreasing again now. I mean, they
Oh,
increased for a while, but now they're going back down again. But it's questionable if they will stay down or if they're going up again. It's
hmm What do you guys think is causing this? Is it the borders opening? Is it like the sunshine? Is it the
I
weather? What
mean,
is it?
there was a club in Zurich which
Oh yeah.
had one super spreader
Oh yeah.
where there were 300 people, and
hmm
well, there was one guy that had tested positive for coronavirus, so
hmm
he went to that club and then he infected a lot of people, I guess, because that explains why there were a lot of cases at one point.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
it jumped from 52, I think, this week. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. It was like 52, and then the next day it jumped to 150, so three
Mhm.
times the amount of the prior day. Yeah, so but I think due to a number of things, just not the borders, everything together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mhm. But at the same time, what is it? But the clubs are still open, apparently. I mean, do you guys
They're
think it should be closed?
they're allowed to be open, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of the clubs in Zurich which made an agreement to not have guests this weekend.
Oh, that's good.
I
As
actually read
far
an
as
article that all you need is a working phone
hmm
and for like nightclubs in Zurich, and all they needed, I think, was a working phone. That the people coming in needed a working phone. I think that's part of the. I'm guessing it's part of the coronavirus tracing app.
hmm
but
That
what if they don't have the tracing app?
Yeah,
I
then
guess they
it's
can't
no
go in.
working phone at that point. But okay.
I'm not sure, but that's what I read.
Yeah, but talking about that working phone, it is definitely that Swiss COVID app that they introduced in the last 2 weeks or something, along with some other restrictions. But it basically uses your Bluetooth to trace if you're coming near a person, and once I mean, if you are tested positive, it will make sure that you're home and not going outside. So I would like to hear your thoughts, starting with our speaker. Do you think this app is going to be helpful or not?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna do anything crazy, but it is better. Like it doesn't do anything bad. Like I think it just improves. So everyone might as well install it because even if it has a very little small benefit, it still is a benefit. So
Right.
like might as well everyone install it. But yeah, of course, there are many problems with it. But
Mm,
you know those problems you can't really get around. It's a mobile phone app at the end of the day. So
yeah, true. I see
I like that thinking.
hmm Well, yeah, it does help a little bit. Along the Atlantic Ocean to the other side, how is the U.S. doing?
Well,
not
Well,
well.
Fred,
yeah, not well indeed.
we heard you
Um,
had a debate with a certain someone from our school, so could you give us an insight, like to your opinions regarding the matter?
Who me?
yeah.
Yes, yes, you, Fred.
I had a debate with who? Wait, what?
Who do you have to be with?
What happened? Oh, I don't remember.
Wait,
Wait, I had a debate.
Wait, he had a debate with someone? Fred, go on.
wait, Ivan,
I,
I think
Wait,
you
wait,
told me
wait, wait.
he debated. Okay, never mind.
No, I think that
wait,
was someone
maybe.
else, no?
I maybe talked about something with somebody, but I don't know.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
either
Fred
way,
debates a lot of stuff, so.
Yes, yes,
Not
Marcus.
everything. But yeah, the U.S.
my
is not
bad.
doing too good, and we hope for the best for them, especially Florida. And it's apparently, I mean, yesterday was 4th of July, so we should definitely see a little spike in the stuff. But anyways, I think that was enough for coronavirus segment. We hope you all stay safe. Make sure to wear masks outside and follow the health protocols in your country. But
Yes,
second
please.
of all, yeah,
Amen. Hallelujah.
Unless you're in Brazil, then you should follow the. You
the
should
cartel.
be a bit more stricter than what the government says.
We're not going to go into that. All right. Second of all, um, after the death of George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter, it took on mainstream media, and many have been debating whether it serves its purpose of trying to equalize all ethnicities and races. But is it really a systematic issue or a socialist issue? Fred
Can, uh, can I just do
or
a quick
Marcus? Go
quick
ahead.
nudging? Isn't
Yeah.
it funny how much it was covered the first 2 weeks, but now there's barely any media coverage?
I know.
Oh, there's
It's
definitely. I'm sorry.
I
I
mean,
understand it's a big issue, but I feel like the U.S. is also, you know, news sources and stuff are definitely, you know, supply of what's the word? I don't want to say propaganda, but like they tend to just add unnecessary fear and, you
Silent
know,
propaganda. Very popular. Yeah. I see what you mean. Fred?
I mean, yeah, whether I think it's a systemic or social issue, I'd probably say a systemic issue, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's. I mean, it's been embedded in this point into class in America, into some legal institutions, that I
Mm-hmm.
would say it's a systemic issue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, it is no longer now how it was before, of course, where it was very clearly built into the law, where with before the before 1964 when they didn't pass the that bill, which now kind of equalized blacks and whites, but
Mm-hmm.
still to this day there are still obvious differences. There are differences in like the
Mm-hmm.
standard of living between blacks and whites in America
Mhm.
and around the world.
I mean, personally, I think that it's no longer an issue of not only equality, but also some form of equity in terms of equality. You can like we were having this. I actually had this debate quite recently. Is that the fact that you need a good balance of equality and equity, and that by equity I mean like equality in terms of fairness and justice. You can't, you know, if I were to take into the context of hiring, and you say, okay, well, we have the same number of uh, this racial group and this number of racial group hired, sure, that's equality, but in the end, where you can definitely tell that there is some form of injustice, and that's where I would say equity lacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, also, it's just not that it's not like 50 black people and 50 white people. It's also how those 50 black people and 50 white people came apart. So I mean, like, it also
Exactly.
depends on education system. There's so many factors that comes under it. But the protests that happened, were they really for Black Lives Matter, or were they for police brutality, or were they for both? They could be for both, always. Marcus
I mean,
or
yeah,
Fred?
you go. Marcus can go.
I think it's for both. I think every person has their own like belief of what they're protesting for. I think at least the protesters do. I don't know how smart the protests are in the current world situation because of Corona and all of these things. I mean, the US, as what we already mentioned, has the highest number of cases in the world, and 2 days ago had over 54,000 confirmed cases in one day, which is definitely not good. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely support the fight to end racism or what like the Black Lives Matter movement, but protesting right now is I guess dangerous, and I mean everybody probably has their own stance on it.
It's a risky move, yeah. Fred, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, no, I agree with Mark. I think like it's both. They're both fighting for, because at the end of the day, police brutality is very close. It's very integrated in how racism in America, because the point of police brutality is that it is disproportional. It's disproportional, and there are more blacks affected by police brutality than whites, and that's part of why they're protesting. So yeah, I'd say it's both, like Marcus said.
Nice.
All right. I think that was enough for Black Lives Matter. Well, a member of the Black Lives Matter community, of course, and popular person, I gotta say, 14 hours ago tweeted out saying, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I am running for president of the United States. Hashtag 2020 vision, Kanye West."
Dude, I was so surprised when this came out, bro. I remember him tweeting that out like 4 years ago, and I thought that it was just a joke. And the fact is, I was so surprised when you told me right before this podcast started. Yeah, I did not know he was actually doing it.
And the thing is, Elon Musk said, "You have my full support," and that makes. I mean, if hypothetically, if he does become the president, that means our first lady will be Kim Kardashian. So we got really fun things to.
That will definitely be interesting.
But Elon Musk actually endorsed Kanye West.
Yeah, I think he did.
What is happening?
I'm sorry,
What
am
is
I the
happening
only
to
one
Elon?
just imagining Kim and Kanye just going up and meeting with Kim Jong-un?
That'll be an interesting sight to see. But also, what is it? I don't get it, because Kanye was also a very good supporter of Donald Trump. Now he's running against him and Biden.
I mean,
So-
yeah, I guess. I mean, he's a big supporter of Trump, right? But he's Republican, so he's just running as another Republican.
He's a bigger supporter of himself. He's a supporter of Trump.
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
I doubt he's gonna run, because to do that you have to have the Republican Party's backing, and I doubt he's gonna get that.
Yeah,
They
fair.
did pop in the north, so
He's gonna have to run as independent.
And I mean, doesn't he have I don't know how true this is, but as far as I know, doesn't he have like an own cult where he kind of sees himself as God? Like
I mean,
Sunday
basically-
church or something. And like I'm not.
If you look at his lyrics, yeah, I feel like he might think he's God.
exactly. If you look
Yeah.
at all of his albums and all that,
Yeah.
it makes it good. And even
I think it would be the pinnacle of American history.
yeah, I don't see it happening.
It'll be quite hilarious if it happens. That's.
It'll make the whole country into a joke if it's not already.
Just
I
vote it
mean,
down.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right then. That was enough with our conversation. Last quick thing. PS5 or Xbox, right?
Xbox all the way, of course.
Okay. Wait a second. I don't have Volub here backing me up, but
Marcus, do you want to back him up?
I mean, you see, I'm kind of like the
Can we-
neutral
no.
here. I'm the
No.
neutral here with the superior vision of PC above all.
Okay.
PC is coming out then.
I mean that's
No.
obvious though.
Checkmate.
But if I had to choose between Xbox and PS4 or PS5, like Sony in general, I would do PS5.
Thank you,
Bro,
bro.
I can disconnect you right now.
Boys, tell me something. They ran out of names. They went Xbox, and they didn't know what to put after, so they just started repeating their own name. Xbox.
I mean, they
Xbox
literally
and
named
numbers.
themselves after a food product of eggs, an
No.
Xbox, a
Bro,
box
bro.
full of eggs.
Alright.
Dude, after
Um,
Xbox X, it's gonna be Xbox squared because it's just gonna be Xbox. They
Yeah,
can't.
who cares about the naming?
No, no.
Alright,
Next,
it's
next,
like,
next, it's milk carton or something like that. You just watch, just watch.
It's a
that-
box, boys. Can we just? We're living in 2020, and we got some pretty good
look,
technology.
look. I could just walk into Sunrise and get the PS5 right out there saying it's a router. Okay, so I mean, that's not.
Right. What the heck? I like it. I gotta say, I like it.
Well, I
the
gotta
black.
say you're an unpopular opinion. Okay, so
Mm.
majority don't like it.
Fred, I remember. Fred, you said the PS5 looked nice. I remember
yeah,
this.
but I don't buy a console for the way it looks.
Yeah, to be fair, I
Okay.
think it's only you, John. Okay, you just like how it looks right next
Back
to
me
you.
up on this one. You said
See, when you buy, yeah, I did. But the thing is, when you buy a PS, all you can do is look at it. But when you buy an Xbox, you can
All you can
actually use it for what it is.
Whoa,
Checkmate.
whoa, whoa! They both have really similar specs.
Yes,
No,
but which one is better, John?
exactly.
You're a man
Okay,
of you're a man of technology. Tell me which one has better spec.
Yeah.
Let's see. They have really
PC.
similar.
Yeah, if you shell like
Okay,
$3,000.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
You
you
want,
can
like,
for
more
the
Xbox.
same money you can already buy a better machine than the Xbox or PS5.
Yeah, but that's manual labor.
Are you sure about that?
Plus, yeah. Plus, I mean, if you then account in for the fact
500
that
francs, you
for
get
the for counting in for the fact that additionally you also have to pay for online, which you do not have to on PC. If you add those costs on top, you could build an even better machine.
Can you buy a 4K 60 machine for
actually 8K.
$500?
It's
It's
no.
Yeah,
definitely
it's,
8K.
Fred
it's
is
gonna be
higher.
an AK like.
Isn't
what?
it 4K 120?
I'm saying I'm doing that minimum. I'm doing that
Yeah,
minimum. Like
yeah,
I'm doing minimum.
Bare minimum 4K 60 for
Even
500.
that, I'm pretty sure you can build with 500.
Yeah, that'll be pretty difficult.
I mean, in the end, it's both of them are quite expensive machines, and finally, after I don't know how long since 4K TVs have come out, we can finally game 4K.
I mean, how many of you actually do a 4K monitor TVs though?
I have one.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, man.
I mean, that's the thing though. Majority of people won't have one. That's
Yeah, to be fair.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
but I mean,
kinda
John
pointless.
John doesn't need one because he's getting a PS. So.
Okay, Fred. Wait, in terms of games, can we admit that Sony has better exclusives than Xbox?
No, 100% no.
I mean, guys, I want to go back to PC. PC has all the games from literally like except a
No.
few exclusives, but it has so many more other games than PS4 or Xbox ever have, and you also don't have to pay for online.
The way I see it, if you have a PC or if you have the choice with Microsoft, why go for a console? Isn't the prime gaming setup
A PC, yeah, exactly. That is a good point.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
Because all the Xbox exclusives you can also play on PC because of the Xbox Store.
Yeah, but the most customers are children, and we are one. So that's why we
Exactly,
have a
Jivan.
console.
Exactly.
Okay, you know what? We're not gonna
Let's
end
go
this.
for it.
Should we just move on?
Okay, that was enough for console war. We're gonna end it with a very fun game segment. We're gonna go back to who's most likely, one of the favorites. Let me start off with our first most. Actually, first it's gonna be out of the 5 people, including Walab. So with every single one, we could just say Walab, but that would be kind of boring. So let's switch. Okay, so who's most likely to wear makeup?
Balab.
Well,
I
or
think-
John.
Oh, yeah.
No, because
Wait.
you gotta like doll up for the YouTube videos.
Why on earth would I wear?
That is true. That is true.
No, I think John, because of his sister, he'll just like once in a while just experiment. Where
No, stop. Fred has a sister too.
She doesn't wear makeup more
Yeah.
rarely.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
My
his
sister
sister.
doesn't leave the house.
That doesn't mean she doesn't have makeup. All right. Next one. Who's most likely to go bankrupt?
Me.
Jivan.
Wait, Marcus, self-nominated. Why, Marcus?
Just because I mean, yeah, I spent too much money.
Spending too
No,
much.
but you can just liquidate all your assets and then you'll get a ton of money. You sell your CS:GO account.
That
sell
is
your
that is
PC,
true. I could just
Yeah,
liquidate a lot of
Sell
my
your
assets, and I have
Sell
made
your
profit
PC.
on some of them. So you know, yeah.
Afford mortgage. Yeah.
sell your
Yeah.
LED wall.
The same man who built a full-on liquid-cooled PC for his personal project back in
Yeah.
grade 10.
He sells that. He could
Mhm.
afford a house. Easy. For a month at least.
Right. So who's most likely to go bankrupt? in that
I'm gonna
case?
go with Marcus and say Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in between Jivan and Marcus.
How would I go bankrupt? Bro,
Gambling.
I'm gonna be earning 2 in like 7 years. Okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
The
You have
world
to wait a
will end
while.
before you get out
Yeah,
of med
and and like a year after that, I can say retirement and
Oh,
back
yeah.
on another.
Your 7th year of medical school just before you're about to get a job. That's
Dude, he's gonna retire before he finds a job because by the
Yeah.
time he finishes med school,
Oh, I'm sorry, I retired, but I have the zero job experience.
yeah. We'll replace your job with robots.
Yeah. Right. Would you like a robot to handle you, Fred? Hmm?
I don't know. Would I like you to handle me? I don't know that either.
Same thing at the end. All right.
yes.
Next one. Who's most likely to be a gambler?
Jivan.
Bro, nah.
Who's
I
most
do wanna
likely to what?
Be a
gambling.
gambling addict.
Jivan.
I don't know. I
Jivan.
would say Fred. I
No,
would say
no, there's
Fred.
no. I don't know that. There's
Actually,
it's
wait.
definitely.
Marcus, he does trading. Wait. Marcus.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. Online.
No,
online
no.
gambling.
But trading isn't gambling. Trading isn't gambling. There's a big
It's
difference.
just betting
Kind
money.
of is. It
No,
kind of is.
it isn't. Because I don't gamble. I
Well,
no.
do you go to auctions? Do you do auctions?
No, of course not.
I don't know at that point then. I mean,
Jivan is the one that has obsessed about poker in our school and blackjack and
Wait,
all of
we
those
all
other
play
games.
poker, bro.
Yeah, but you were the one to introduce us, so you're clearly the head
Yeah.
gambler.
You guys played before.
I would.
shut up.
That's why I said he was the most likely to go bankrupt.
That is also
Yeah,
true.
you got a point there. Yeah. But still.
Boys, we need ones with
Boys,
me and
grade
Fred.
12, we go to Las Vegas, okay? And we use all
Alright.
of them. Alright.
Keep
so-
him away from all the pool
I
tables.
love.
I guess Valve. Okay. Alright, next one. Who's most likely to be in prison?
Valab.
Fred.
Valab.
Yeah.
Nah. I feel like Fred will go for doing
Fred.
something.
I mean, I don't want to say Switzerland's racist, but
Oh god, let's not go there.
Fred's just gonna get arrested for playing too loud music.
Yeah, that's,
true. I mean that's almost happened.
that's almost happened. And then lastly, who's most likely to go to a Justin Bieber concert?
Fred.
Valab.
Fred.
Fred, I would say Fred.
What
Fred,
happened
you
to
know
saying Valab every time?
You know the lyrics for Justin. What was it?
No,
Sorry or something.
I know the chorus.
No, maybe. You know the song, but you know the verse. Alright.
Dude, you should hear Fred sing Barbie, bro.
Dude, that's not Justin Bieber.
I know, but somewhat similar.
Who was
Yeah, they
singing that
both-
with me? Who was singing that? There was somebody else on the group 4 that was.
Oh, that was someone else.
That was you, Jivan.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't doing Ken. I wasn't doing Ken. It was someone else who was doing Ken. I think it was not Mark. Who else was?
I don't know.
I do
Oh.
not know.
Wait, Marcus?
What?
You're the only other Ken person.
Well, I guess we know who will go to the concert. All right.
No, it's definitely Fred though.
All right. Two more. Who's most likely? Who's most likely to kill someone accidentally?
Accidentally?
Accidentally. I think John would.
John, probably John.
Boys, why?
Because
I'd say
feel
not
like
accidentally, John.
Okay, wait, what?
what do you think?
Wait, Fred.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Fred.
No, like I
Can
just
I
see
know the
you.
reasoning? Okay, just let me. What's the reasoning for that thought?
Well, there's no reasoning. Just
Mm-hmm.
rapidly moving on.
Yeah.
All right, well, next one.
I feel like John because he would be doing some like
You almost
chemistry
burnt down the
experiment.
school.
Who did I
You
do?
almost burnt down the school.
Nah, that was just a toaster thing.
All right,
I'm
next one.
All right, next one, last one. Who's most likely to win a Nobel Prize? Easy.
Me.
John Michael.
obviously. Wait, what?
Fred. I'd say Fred.
Could be
I say John Michael.
Wait. Sorry, guys, wait 1 second. So, Jivan, you said easy. Who would you pick?
I said John.
Okay.
What?
Fair.
I said
Wait, I swear we have had this one already, no?
Yeah, we have. But,
Okay.
the people.
Are you recycling content, Jivan?
Yeah, what is it? Are you come on and I expect new? Oh my god. I remember I saw this when I was watching the podcast. I saw this question.
Really?
Yeah,
My
of
God.
course.
Okay, this one's a new one. Just a quick one. Who's most likely to be a supermodel?
Walla.
Well,
Yeah, dude, the hair and makeup. Goes
The
Wait,
hair,
but how
hair,
much
makeup,
is
and the
it?
poses,
Okay.
definitely.
and the
I think Bob
dancing.
turned his channel into
Yeah.
a pretty good makeup guru.
Exactly.
Wait, wouldn't that entitle him to be the most likely to put
No,
on makeup?
John, don't try to turn it off.
Okay.
I feel like Vala was the guest speaker in this one. In this.
Well, Vala, what are your thoughts on this? Okay. Anyways, I think that sums it up for this week's. Thank you so much, Fred, for joining us. It's been lovely.
Thanks for
Uh,
having me.
yeah, it's been a lovely podcast, I would say. A lot of fruitful content.
I swear
Next,
to God, stop using fruitful. Sorry.
MUN.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, bro, aggressive reaction.
Okay.
No, you,
Anyways,
John, you don't know that
John, you
that
don't
word
know how
haunts
many
me.
times
It
it's
haunts
literally
me
everywhere. But yeah. Anyways,
everywhere I go. I see it. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
thank you so much for joining us this week. We hope to see you again. This is your host signing off, Chivon. See you guys, and you guys can do your outro.
Stay inside. Oh, wait, no. Actually, now you can go outside if you want to.
Now you can
But
go
stay
outside.
safe, wear masks in public transport, and have a good time. See you guys.
Thank you, Fred.
This is your host signing off. Goodbye.
Shut up. All right, see you guys.